everybody, ready for our workout today. Today is going to be a little bit different in that we are going to work our arms and our legs, but there's going to be a lot of core work involved. And when we work our arms and legs, we're only going to work one at a time. So either your right or your left, but not so much of them together. We call that unilateral work. And what you'll notice is as you work one side of the body, the other side has to kind of resist and stay stabilized. So what I'd love for you to do as you go through the workout today is if you can just imagine a line right down the center of your body, right through the midline, cutting you in half. And what you would love to focus on is that the right side and the left side stay even the entire time. So kind of think of yourself being in a railroad track, two nice equal lines side to side from right to left. And as you work through the exercises, just notice if you kind of start to feel a little bit of sliding over to one side or the other, and always work to come back to those nice even lines and correct. Okay? Okay, so using the band today, we're going to start off sitting with our legs crossed. And so what you're going to do, and if you need to, please get a big old pillow to sit on as we start off. What we're going to do is I'm going to put that band right underneath your glutes. So you're sitting on the glutes and you want pretty even tails on each side. So we're going to kind of pull that so it's centered there. Okay, so if you sit on a pillow, that'll help your back if you have some tight back or tight leg muscles here too, and your glutes to fold over. So that'll relieve that. Don't be afraid to get that pillow out. Okay, so let's get started. We've got the band cut in half. And we're going to work opposite. So we're going to take the tail that's on my left side over into my right hand. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of wake up my obliques a little bit because I want them to know they're going to have to kind of counterbalance as I go through some exercises here with my right arm. So I'm going to put my left hand on my hip or on my knee, and I'm sitting up nice and tall. I feel my sit bones down into the mat, and the crown of the head is reaching up. So I've got this length in my spine rather than sinking here. So those ribs are lifted up. My elbow's bent at 90. I've got this nice strong straight wrist, and I'm going to start to rotate, turning my body over to the left side. Now, as we do these exercises today, we want to make sure we're staying out of those upper traps. Like I said, this is more to wake up those obliques, so my arm's not really doing a whole lot yet, but I just want my abdominals to know they're going to have to turn on to balance against the resistance that I'm using in my right arm. Good, let's do 3 more. Lengthen up, add that breath. 2 more. Maybe pull that elbow around just a little bit to the back. And last one. Perfect. All right, now we start moving the arm. So my right elbow is bent here, and I'm going to keep this arm bent as if it's in a cast. So remember how you could get in a cast all the way up to here and you can't straighten it or bend your elbow. We want to keep that kind of locked. And we're going to go out to what we call external. Well, this is an external rotation. This is abduction. So the elbow is going out away from your body. And you'll start to feel it underneath your trap. And you want to relax right up here on top of this trap. You'll feel it underneath your tricep, and you want to relax that trap. Let's go 3 more. 2, really working this left abdominal so you don't just lean over here. And last one. Excellent. All right, now keeping your elbow right here at your side, we're going to go out into now external rotation. So really what's happening here, if you're an anatomy nerd like me, is the arm bone, this is called your humerus, is rotating in the socket. So your bicep's turned in when your hand is in, and then your bicep is exposed when that hand goes out. So this is working the muscles right here in the back of the scapula, and you're feeling that rotation in that arm bone, and those muscles underneath your shoulder blade are working. Nice. Let's go 3 more. 2, make sure you've got enough resistance on that band, but you're keeping that wrist straight. Perfect. All right. Now, from here, what we're going to do is give yourself a little bit more tail, and you're going to bring your arm up so this elbow is back in space as much as you can get it. So you're really lifting through that arm. And then you're going to flex over just a little bit, so my head tips, my rib cage slides over to the right side. And then I'm going to go into an arm press here. So that forearm is going up towards the ceiling. I'm working to keep my wrist straight here. I just made a little minor correction. Did you guys see that? And we go 3. I'm feeling it in that shoulder blade. And last 1. Good. Now hold that elbow right here at 90 degrees. And instead of working the arm, we're going to work that torso. So all I'm doing is I'm flexing over right here deeply to my left, and then I'm coming up to my right. And so we're working those side panels, if you will, on your abdominals. Absolutely. Let's go 3 more. Keep those shoulders down and back and keep pulling that elbow back in space too. If you need a little more resistance, choke up. Last 1. Good. Okay, now from here, I'm going to take my arm out about the length here of the band. So stretch that arm out. And then I'm going to bring it across my body. So it's coming out and then across my body. And as I do this, I want that shoulder blade to tuck inward and downward. That's it. Ooh, yeah, this one's a good one. Go 5. Keep those ribs knitted down here. 4. 3. Hang in, my friends. 2 more. And final 1. Oh, perfect. All right, last move. We're going to bring the elbow right to your side. It's bent at 90. I'm going to put a little bit more tension in there. Sitting up tall, and I'm just going to punch forward and then bring it back. So I want to keep this elbow and wrist in alignment off to my right side of my body. So don't let it come across the midline of your body. You want to keep it out to the outside, even though this band is pulling it over here. So keep it straight out, draw it straight back in, and you'll feel it underneath that shoulder blade. We got 4, 3, nice, 2, and 1. Oh, and bring it down. Oh, shake that out. I can definitely feel that in that shoulder. Okay, time to go over to the left side. So band comes across. We'll start off with that rotation. So I'm holding my arm at a 90-degree angle, opening the chest here, and this arm is on my knee as I start with that rotation. So I'm getting my body turned toward that left side. Both sit bones are anchored down. Adding the breath, staying out of those upper traps. These obliques right here, right side, left side, are working external and internal. 3 more. Spiraling that spine. We got 2. And 1. Just a little resistance there. Okay, now focus is just on this abduction, bringing that band away and back in. Notice how my elbow stays bent, and I'm just coming about halfway between my shoulder and my hip. So you're kind of making a little triangle space right here. And the shoulder blade is on the back of the body, so imagine my shoulder blade right here. It's just going up and back in. Yep. And we're working those little rotator muscles on the back there. Good. Stay up out of these upper traps. Use these lats underneath here. And final 1. Perfect. Okay, now a little less slack in the band, so you're going to come down a little more. This elbow stays here, and we go into external rotation. Keep that wrist straight. Think open collarbones here as you bring this arm back in. And you're going to have to resist that urge to let this just snap back. Kind of resist it, come in slowly. That's it. This is one of the hardest moves here. It's working those little tiny muscles underneath your scapula, your teres minor, and your infraspinatus. I know, you don't care. Let's go 3 more. And 2. And last 1. Oh, okay, good. Now we take that arm across your body, so extend it out, set that shoulder down and back, and we go up and out. Yeah, I'm keeping my hand here just to remind that shoulder to stay from rolling forward and bring it back. We go 5 and 4. Excellent. 3. Oh, I know what I forgot. 2 and 1, and we'll come back to that. Okay, bend the elbow here, set the shoulders down and back, and we'll do our little railroad track, arms straight out in front. Kind of like you're putting something in the mail. And you want to keep that arm off to the side of your left hip, Don't let it come near your left rib cage. Keep it off to that left side. Let's go 2 more. Shh. And last one. Whew. All right, now here's what I forgot. I knew I forgot something. Elbows bent at 90. We've got our right hand down on the floor here. We're going to flex and then extend this arm straight up. So the elbow stays in space where it is, and just the wrist goes up in the air, stacks on top of that elbow. We got 4, 3, just had to remind myself to relax the shoulder, 2, and 1, hold here. Now the elbow stays bent and we're gonna go into lateral flexion. So my ribs are flexing side to side. I'm curling over here, curling over here. So see the C shape here, C shape here. Yes, and my left shoulder is feeling it. Let's go for 3, 2, and final 1. And bring it out. Whew, tight. Whew. Okay, just for fun, we're going to do one little exercise for both arms so we end up a little bit evenly. So cross your bands like this. You've got them crossed over, opposite tail and right hand, opposite tail and left. Roll those shoulders back, reach to the crown of the head, and we're going to lift both arms up in the air and bring them back down. I want just a little bit more resistance, so I'm going to choke up on my tails. So big X right across the chest and lower back down. That's it, we got 6. Whew. And 5, knit those ribs down, don't let your back arch. 4, and 3, 2 more, and final 1. Oh, we did it. All right, big arm stretch here. Let's lace the fingers together behind your back, and then knee forward fold. Bring your nose down towards the floor and wring those hands up in the air. That's a nice stretch. Maybe you can come down all the way. Plant your nose on the floor. If you're on a pillow, hopefully you didn't somersault off. Okay, you guys ready for that single leg work now? So now we're going to turn and lay on our back. And then we're going to fold the band in half again. I'm going to start off, I think I'll start off with my left leg because I think you'll be able to see better. And so I'm going to cap my toes again with the band. And I've taught you this just to keep your band from rolling up. That's a better way. So see how it's kind of capped over my toes there. So instead of holding this in my left hand, today I'm going to hold it in my right hand. And what you'll notice is that starts to make that foot want to go across your body. And so you're going to be activating these muscles of your inner thigh and these muscles on the outside of your thigh to keep that leg straight in line and without letting it go across your center line. So remember, visualize that midline of your body and stay in your railroad tracks on either side of that midline. Okay, so now we bend the knees, both of them, into tabletop position. And you'll notice this elbow is just resting on the floor. I'm trying not to bring any tension in my shoulders. I'm going to choke up a little bit because I really feel like challenging myself a little bit today. So I've got a nice little grip on that. It's pretty taut right here before we start. And I start with just an extension. Activate that glute, feel that quad work, and then bring it back in. So we're extending left leg out. Shoulders are in and down. Imprinting the spine, chin is tucked. Good, and my right knee stacks over my hip. Good, and I can already feel the challenge of that leg wanting to kind of channel in a little bit. We got 3, 2, feel those glutes engaged. You might reach back there and push on them. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to bring both legs together and send them out together and then bring them back in. This just kind of gives you an awareness of the difference with the resistance on there. Good. This is where the ab work comes in. So feel your low back sealing to the mat. Shoulders stay relaxed. We go 3, 2, and 1. Let's do just 4 of them with our knees and ankles separated and extend them out. And then bring them back in. See if you can let them mirror each other on that forward and back, and also on the space between right and left. This is where it gets a little challenging. 2 more. And last one. Sweet. All right, now right leg stays stationary. We're going to extend the left leg up in the air, and we go down with a lower and a lift. Once again, you want that straight line so that the leg doesn't start to migrate in. And watch your kneecap. You want the kneecap facing up towards your rib cage and not going out towards the side here. Excellent. Again, the glutes working, those muscles on either side, right and left, racing stripes on your legs are working. We got 2 more. And last one. And now we're going to straighten that right leg without sealing them together, so keep them about 6 inches apart. We're going to do the lower and lift with them staying separate, and you can feel the challenge on this. Really encouraging you to imprint your spine. And just notice, this is a neurological exercise to try to get that right leg to move at the same speed as the left leg without any resistance or any help with it. Oh, perfect. Let's go 2 more. Last one. Good. Hold it here. We're going to start to make big circles now with both legs. Stirring them down, out, and around. Imprint that spine. Soften the shoulders and the neck. You got it. 2, challenging. And 1, bringing it back. And resist to going the opposite direction. Remember, you can always adjust that tension on the band. I'm definitely feeling it. Feeling it in my core. 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Okay, our next exercise, we're going to scissor our legs in opposition. So one leg goes down, one leg goes up. And then they stay equally spaced as we scissor. So again, think legs are in railroad tracks. If you want a little extra, you can come up to a curl here. Make sure your neck is soft and your nose is looking right through those knees. This is easier in some ways and harder in other ways. Good, let's go 2 more. And last one. And then our final exercise, we're going to go ahead and turn our toes out now. So heels are together, toes are laterally rotated. Our top leg is going to go out, and our bottom leg is going out and up, and our bottom leg is going to go down. And when we come back together in the center, and you might pop your head up just so you can make sure that those heels are meeting in what's really the center, because sometimes they'll meet over here. And then once those heels also come together, you're going to reach that direction. So reach those toes away from your body. It's a very active reach. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, bring it in. Nice work. Let's trade feet now. So I'm going to put my right foot in, right at the cap of the toe. Left knee comes to tabletop. Band now comes across my body to my right arm. And I'm going to choke up just a little bit more. So my knees start in tabletop, and then I go into that bend and stretch on that right leg. Try to keep your right shoulder, right hip bone anchored down on the mat. As I extend my leg, my right glute is engaging. And I can definitely feel my right one more than I did my left one. 4 more. 3. Good awareness here of what's going on right to left side in those obliques and those stabilizers as you work unilaterally. All right, now squeeze those inner thighs together and we extend both legs and draw them back in. Low back seals to the mat. Make sure that neck stays long. We don't want any of this. So tuck the chin down. 4 more. 3. Hollow the belly. 2. Final 1. Bring it in. We separate just a few inches apart and extend and return. Extend and return. Keep that low back sealed to the mat and try to keep those knees perfect parallel railroad track lines. Watch them. See what they do. We're going to get that brain-body connection. That's it, you guys. 2 more. Final 1. one. Awesome. And then we bring the legs straight up into the air here. I have to get a little less tension so I can still keep my elbow down. Okay, so now we're going to do the lower end lift. So let's start off with just the single leg. Sorry, I'm going to bring this one back to tabletop. Single leg lower end lift. Good. Really feeling that right glute working. Trying to keep the leg in line with the hip bone. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. And now both legs lower and lift. So we scoop that imprinted spine. We keep them just shoulder width apart. Definitely harder than it looks. That left leg is heavy. The right one's actually the easy one because the band helps support it. Yeah, let's go 2 more. Remember, don't let that low back arch. We want to support it going back down to the mat. And final one. Perfect. Okay, legs are back up in the air. And let's go into our big range of motion circles. Both legs mirroring each other, stirring around. Femur bones in the hip socket. We got 4, 3, 2, and 1. And reverse it. Go back the other way. Shh. 4, 3, tight glutes, guys. I feel my core, I hope you do. And final one, and then the legs come back up. Gonna get a little more tension here. You can actually hold with both hands if you want. Curl or no curl, totally optional. And we're gonna do scissors. So reaching those legs away in opposition. Your kneecaps are pointing straight up at the ceiling rather than rotating out to the sides. Good, let's go 2 more. And final one, bringing the legs back together, and I'm going to lay down for this one. We go into staggered legs here. That's it. Remember last time I cued you to make sure to reach long so those toes are reaching as far away from your body as you can. Shoulders and neck stay soft. 4 more. 3, 2, and final one. Awesome job, everybody. Bring it back in. Okay, taking that strap off, we're going to hug those knees right into your chest here. And then extend your legs out on the floor. And take just a couple seconds here. We're going to point our toes out to the outside. Hip bones are nice and even, shoulders back. And then roll those toes inward. And then back out again. And then roll those toes inward. Good. Just relaxing and mobilizing in that hip socket. Let's go 2 more. And 1. Perfect. And then just let your legs fall out to the outside. We're going to put our hands over our hearts. And just a few deep breaths here. And as you take these deep breaths, just smile. Let that big smile come across your face and notice how that just changes your whole outlook. So much power in that smile. Thank you so much for taking time to take care of yourself today.